Today I'm going to show you how to make a very simple shadow effect in Procreate to give your objects a little sense of depth and 3Dness. Now you can get very specific and very detail oriented with your shadows and make a picture as real as you want it to look. This is just a simple way to get a little sense of depth and shading on your picture. So I'm just going to make a shape right now. Nothing specific. And I'm just going to drag the green over and fill that in. Now I'm going to get a darker shade of the green, and you can pick left side, left and bottom, left and top, right and bottom, right and top. It's up to you, but you're going to pick some consistent pattern that you're going to shade throughout your whole drawing if there's more than one object. In this case I just have an object, so I'm just going to do the left side and the underneath side. So I'm just going to draw that darkness, and I accidentally switched to eraser, but I'm going to draw the dark green on the left side and the bottom side of this shape. And it gets a little tricky about how much of the bottom you want to do, kind of where you want to stop it when you come back up. I think that's all of it. Now I'm going to grab the blend tool, and when I use the blend tool I like to keep the opacity kind of a little less in the middle, and you can make the size whatever size you're comfortable with. And I'm going to use the same exact brush. I'm just using the calligraphy brush under brush pen, and if I go to the blend tool, calligraphy brush under brush pen, and I'm going to use the blend tool on the edge of that dark green that I just drew and just blend it into the light green. I'm going back and forth, pulling the light green into it, and I can get softer by making my brush even less opaque. So the darker or the more opaque your brush is, or basically the harder you're going to be pushing if this was real material and pulling out the material. The harder it is, the more that comes out, the less opaque it is, or the softer it is, the less color you're pulling out, but it's also a lighter shade, and you kind of have to work it more, but you can also have more control that way. So you basically keep doing this until it's the way you want it to look. And obviously you can play with the opacity as you go if you want to kind of change it and mix it up some. But I'm just working it in, giving it a very simple shadow, and you can see just from doing that in about a minute I've got a very simple 3D effect going on this shape. And I can do the same to this side, and I'm just gonna, if there are parts that I think are too dark, I can pull the lighter green into it. And as you go, you can see you can blend out the dark and kind of spread it out a little more also. Now if I wanted to, I could go back in with an even darker green along the edge and get if I want a really dark shadow on part of it, kind of to make it pop a little more. And I'm going to blend that in as well. And it really depends on how far you want to go, how much you want that shadow to be dark, or how dimensional you want it to look. And then I can even go in closer with my eraser, and with a hopefully steady hand, if anything leaked out, I can clean it up and give it a really crisp edge. to add even more to the illusion. Or you might like it the way it is. It's up to you. And I can use depending on how curve or how far you go, you can use the effect of just holding it, letting Procreate kind of straighten out the line for you, which I show you how to do in another one of my videos. You can take it there. Now there, it kind of straightened it too much. I'm just going to use the line I made. And like I said, you can do this as long as you want, depending on how far you want to go. If I want to make it look like there's a little indentation inside the circle, I'm going to lighten this up a little bit. I can do the same kind of effect. I can put a dark line into it. Now this looks like more like a bulge coming out, but I can take the blend tool and blend that in, soften the edge of it, and pull it around as far as I want it to go. And now it kind of looks like there's a bulge or like almost like a button in the middle. I can go on the other side. Same thing. Kind of try to give it a little indent kind of look to it. So it has like a little dip inside that bulge. So play around with it, do what you're comfortable with, have fun, and I'll see you next time.